Hi everyone, my name's Jeremy. I'm the director and maker overall of this music video and the music. I guess you could say I did everything. I made everything except for the images that you see. Well, except for one of the images, that mouse head you see. It's very interesting. The mouse head is actually not a mouse, it's a rat. It's a rat that we had. You may have seen him in some other videos. Unfortunately, he had to leave us due to an illness that he got. But that is the only image I am responsible for. Everything else I pulled off Google Images. That's the reason why the video is actually not monetized, because I don't own the images. But the music is, in fact, it is mine. I did it. A fun thing about the music, sorry, I dropped something. Funny thing about the music, this music video could very well not exist. The only reason it happened was because I was looking through old files on my computer, and I found this WordPad file. It was a WordPad file with the lyrics written in them. I did write them. Maybe I don't know how long ago it could have been. I guess I could check. I know it was a long time ago. At least a few years. Where is it at? Oh no, I missed it. There it is. Properties. 2011. Yeah. Really? Okay, so October 25th, 2011. That's not as long as I thought. I did actually think that I wrote them maybe even 2009, but I guess it just kind of slipped my mind immediately after I wrote it. But yeah, these lyrics are from October 25th, 2011, and while digging through my files, I was doing some cleaning on the computer, a bunch of stuff I didn't need anymore, I found the lyric file and I opened it up, and I actually couldn't remember how I wanted the song to go. I didn't have any chords or anything written down next to it. All I had was the lyrics. So with a little bit of fiddling, I put together the progression, I guess, that you hear. Originally starting with, the way it was written was "Let's go kitty cat" in the first line with an exclamation point. So I thought maybe something like that. And dropping down to an E. Yeah, and I just kind of worked on it from there. Just originally, sorry. After rereading the lyrics, the first thing that popped into my head as the way it should sound was "Let's go kitty cat. You can make it to," yeah, you know how it goes. So yeah, and really just put itself together. But so yeah, that's a funny little story there. That the video that 1,000 have watched could have never existed if it were not for the fact that I wanted to clean out my computer. Now, it wasn't anything weird. It was just, I wasn't like getting rid of anything specific. I was just clearing up some space. You know, I do capture a lot of HD video onto my computer. I have a terabyte hard drive with a 500 gig external, but that can fill up. The raw video that I capture off my camera can get quite huge, depending on the length of it. For example, like minute-long clip is 250 megs. You know, It grows, gets, it fills fast. I know I have longer, maybe I don't have longer examples. Because it's been a while since I've captured something long. I guess I never noticed that I shoot in 2-minute chunks. Yeah. So yeah, it happened because I was clearing out some footage. This chair is kind of noisy. Let's see if I can get a less noisy thing. I don't know how well it's coming up. Let's see. Is this better? There we go. What other parallels things can I talk about? The process of putting this together did take me quite a while. Not more than a day. I've been working on the song just on my guitar for a few days, and I had the idea to make the music video. And it took me, yeah, it was a few days, but there was always people around, and I get kind of weird about working on these personal projects with other people home. Right now, in fact, I am the only one home because this audio commentary is personal to me. So yeah, over little chunks of alone time for a couple days, I put the song together on my guitar, really got it down. But then I originally planned on the song being just on the guitar with my voice, with just this. So the entire song could have sounded like this, but especially when jumping back to the GFG, it got a little janky. You can hear that. And I really wanted it to be perfect, and I am not fantastic at anything, so I knew that I was never going to be able to get it right on the guitar without having a couple of mishaps that I just didn't want in there. So what I did instead is I have FL Studio 9 on my computer. Maybe it's 10. No, it's 9. Yeah. I have FL Studio 9 on my computer, and I just very directly wrote the notes to each chord in it. And let me pull it up. I made it kind of sound like a guitar strum. It's with the only instruments I used in the entire song in FL Studios are the keys. I used the keys, just that are built into it. I used the guitar that is just built into FL Studios, excuse me. I tweaked with its settings a little bit so it didn't sound like exactly like the normal FL Studios guitar, because that does sound a little too cheesy. And I used a concerto cello from a orchestra sound pack that I have on FL Studio. So it was just keys, the Slayer guitar, and a cello with a drum machine that I also have installed in FL Studio. I have a pack actually of 78 drum machines, I think. Yeah, 78 drum machines. I can't remember exactly which drum machine pack I use. Maybe there's a way to find out, but I don't think there is, because all they say in FL Studio is there's BD1 bass drum, SD1 snare drum, you know, HHCL, HHOP, the hi-hats. It doesn't tell me which drum kit they came from, so, and more than one drum machine has that naming convention with its files in here. So I can't tell you exactly which one I used. It was probably a Hawaii drum set. Those have the best sound from the pack to me. But yeah, because I knew that I couldn't get it right on the guitar, I did rebuild the song in FL Studio. That took me not long, maybe an hour, maybe two. Somewhere in that process, one of my roommates did come home. He asked me what it was. I didn't really tell him anything. I wanted to keep it kind of a secret because I wanted to be this big surprise to everybody that this suddenly existed, because there was no hint. If I had shown anyone the lyrics in 2011, they surely had forgotten. So I wanted it to just happen, just come out, exist out of nowhere. No one knew I was working on it. So yeah, I told him it was nothing. I put on my headphones and I continued to work on it without him hearing it. He was in the living room, I think. That's where he usually is. And yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours to put the song together on FL Studios. Most of that was trying to decide how I wanted things to sound. I made a lot of changes. And then animating the music video. The animation on the music video, probably the hardest part for that was finding the pictures I wanted to use. Like I said before, I pretty much did all of it with Google Images, which is why the video is not monetized. The first thing I did though, the very first thing I did was cut out Gus's head from a picture, Gus being the mouse or rat that you see in the video. R.I.P. all that stuff. Opened him up in Photoshop. I have CS3, I believe. Yeah, Photoshop CS3. It was expensive when that came out. Let's see. First thing I did, cut out Gus's head. I don't think there's any other images in here that are mine, and mine alone. Next thing I did with image-wise was look for the background pictures. That was what I thought. I needed to find good background pictures so that, because that's where it takes place. That's what happens in the video. How do I put this? I'm not good at dictating myself, so I'm sorry if this gets a little dumb. Background pictures. I wanted to find good background pictures because you have to have a good background. Otherwise, what is it? First thing I searched for was, I think, path in field. That's where I found the first picture, which is that one. That's the first picture that I pulled up on Google Images and saved. So then I had to find, a picture from the other perspective, and I just found a grassy field, which is that one right there, the grassy field with the rock. And I decided that's what it looks like if you turn around. There's no path in that picture, so I don't know. You put it together in your head that it's supposed to be the same place. So those two pictures, and then I think I found the picture that we're not going to see for a minute, the safe haven path, the grassy thing that gets all bright. That's the third picture I found, and then I started looking for, the troubles pictures. That was kind of hard because most of the pictures I found were too low res. I did try looking for large pictures, but when I searched just large, I didn't find ones that I wanted. And what I was searching for that, I started by searching just like turmoil, troubles. That didn't really give me anything. So I had to pick what kind of troubles is this cat going to be going through. I settled on, hellish imagery. That's what I picked. I started looking for hellbound, hellish, hellfire, all those kinds of things. My favorite one that I found was probably the one with, I guess I have to Wait, if I want to point it out to you, I can't really describe it. It's the one with the like 3 fire pockets. Everything looks like lava, and then there's just the 3 fire pockets, and the kitty cat, kind of flies across it. I can't remember what lyric it plays over. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. I just like that one. I like that part. I like all this. I'm proud of this. I really think I put my heart into this, and I'm happy about how it came out. I really like, also, I mean, aside from all of it, when it pulls out, the shot where it pulls out and reveals what Kitty Cat is looking at, that was hard to do. Not, well, I mean, keeping it to where it almost looks to scale, because, you know, the cat image and the background image are different images, so I could have probably photoshopped the cat onto the picture to make it one picture. This one right here, to zoom out. But the cat and the background are actually 2 different pictures, and I had to zoom out on both of them and try to make it look like the zoom out. That's the one I was talking about, the fire pockets. The zoom out. Trying to make the zoom out look right, because, you know, I zoom out on both. But that wasn't even the hardest part. The hardest part was, if you might notice, at the very end of that shot, there is real fire going on at the bottom. And that was hard to find. I never really have trouble finding sound effects. I have very easily been able to find, like, explosion, or I'm sorry, not sound effects, video effects. Explosion video effects, easy to come by. Everyone uploads them. They're easy to find, people give them out for free. I thought the same would be the case, I thought the case would be the same with fire, but I actually had a lot of trouble finding fire, and it took me the better part of an hour to find fire that I really liked and could key out properly. And then what I did with that, it was just like one flame, and to make it look like it filled up the whole bottom of the screen, I have 3 of them lined up on the bottom at the same, 3 different fire clips happening at the same time. Or they're the same clip, but there's 3 of them there. And that's why you can tell that it's kind of synchronized. There's a GIF, GIF, whatever you want to call it, GIF, that I made of just the cat looking into the hellfire, because that was my favorite shot. I could put the link to that in the description. And that's when you can really tell that the fire is synced up, because it, you know, goes on for longer than I messed with the video itself, and so that the fire could exist for longer than it did in the video, so I can make a good looking GIF. What else? The pot of gold, that was easy to find. The catnip was easy to find. The circle with the X through it was easy to find. The other hell background pictures, I eventually came to a compromise because I could not find good high-res pictures. You can tell that some of them are really low-res. There's a lot of artifacts on them when you really pause and look at it. If you pause and look at it. I don't know why you would do that, but if you really just pause and look at the video with some of the hellish backgrounds, like the one with all the people drowning in the lake of fire, that one is extremely low res, and I am very zoomed in on it. That picture is much bigger. There's more on it, but I'm zoomed in down specifically on the people because that's what I wanted. The type of text that I used, font type was Deja Vu Sans. I gave it a little black background because it's popular on the internet, and it just looks better. It just looks better with some kind of border on it. But Deja Vu is the text I use for pretty much everything. There's another website I run, which actually needs an update today, but I forgot to do. Puppytography.com. It's like puppy photography, but in one word, puppytography.com. It's a bi-weekly thing. The misadventures of a stuffed puppy. But sometimes it's a mixture of picture stories and video stories. And anytime I do the video stories, any of the text is always Deja Vu Sans. That's just the one I use. It's easy to pick one and always go to it. And I like how it looks. It looks good. But yeah, puppytography.com uses Deja Vu, and I thought, just make the decision easier, I'll use Deja Vu in this cat video. It's kind of related. But yeah, that's a fun website. I could plug my own things in here, right? Puppytography.com. It's a lot of fun. There's some arcs. There's some standalone stories. Just finishing up an arc where he gets a cold. He went out in the snow without a jacket. The update that was supposed to go up today was supposed to be him coming off of the cold. But I forgot to take pictures for that. I was too busy watching Snatch, the Guy Ritchie film, which was very good. It was the first time first time I'd ever seen it. Really liked it. It's fantastic. Sorry. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab something to drink because this dry throat is getting a little ridiculous. I thought I'd be better at talking.
Catastrophic, a real catastrophe. But just open your little kitty eyes, and you'll see that down the road is a heaven, a safe place for cats. Yarn in boxes and scratch posts and some grass to eat. If your little kitty belly gets a little kitty tummy ache, let's go, kitty cat. You can make it to the end of the road. Let's go, kitty cat. There'll be mice and catnip and gold. Let's go, kitty cat. You can make it to the end of the road. Let's go, kitty cat. There'll be mice and catnip and gold. Let's go, kitty cat. Let's go, kitty cat. You can make it to the end of the road.
All right.
Let's go, kitty cat. There'll be mice and catnip and gold.
I got a water bottle. Not a water bottle. I was preparing what I was going to say when I got back, and I mixed up the words immediately.
There'll be mice and catnip and gold.
I got ginger ale, Canada Dry. I
'Cause you're a kitty cat.
thought about getting a water bottle, but the water bottle's in my car, and it's cold outside. I didn't want to go outside. I'm in my pajamas. So I get ginger ale. What was I saying? Snatch is a good movie. I'd actually go in the living room to get my ginger ale because we keep the mini fridge in there. Because that's the new setup of our house. You might have some kind of idea of what our house looks like if you've ever seen any of our videos, which, another plug, sorry. YouTube.com/fingerpointsnap. You can see our videos there. We're kind of funny. We've made some videos with our friends. But it's mostly just me, Brad, and Dustin. Aw. Occasional guests of Connor Lloyd Cruz. He's been in some videos. Chris Palmieri. Eric Degalameni. Robert Benfer. Isa Gonzalez. Brittany. Sorry, my heart rate's going up a little bit. I'm a little nervous. I know I've been going for 24 minutes, but it's a lot harder to just sit and talk than I thought it would be. But there's so much more to talk about, so I'm gonna keep trying. The cat picture was the most important picture to find because he was the star of the clip. I wanted to find a cat that looks simple, but not ridiculous. Cute, but like kind of dumb. And this is a pretty dopey looking cat. I'm proud of the cat that I found because he's got just a very blank face. I searched cat renders because somewhere a long time ago I decided that that's what it means when there's just a blank background I can erase out. And I found this guy. This guy right there. Oh, this is something I didn't talk about. Yarn in boxes and scratch posts is not the original line. That's something I changed while recording the vocals, which I have a funny story about the vocals, and I'll get to that after this. The original line was yarn and paper bags and scratch posts. I don't remember why I thought that paper bags was something that cats like. I don't know what train of thought I was in. Again, it was well over a year when I wrote the words. But I was looking at that and it never sounded right. Whenever I was singing that, it didn't sound right. So I started thinking, what else do cats like? Well, there's plenty of videos of Japanese cats jumping in boxes, so I went with boxes, and I think it was a good choice. I think boxes was the best choice I could have made. Cats like boxes. I don't know what you want me to say. The funny story with the lyrics. Everyone was home. I really wanted to get the video done that night. I was 5 hours into putting it together. I had finished animating the video. I found all the pictures. I animated everything. Added the solar, the sun, the flares, that thing, the flares to the video. And I liked, that took me some time, taking everything out, doing all that. But yeah, everyone was home. I was 5 hours in. It was maybe 11 at night, something like that. No, it was definitely not. No, it was 1. It was 1 at night. I remember this now. But I was going at such a high momentum, or whatever you want to call it. I was down the hill. I was going down the hill. I was rolling. I didn't want to stop. It was so close to done. All I needed was lyrics. So what I did is I took my voice recorder, this thing I'm talking into now, and I stretching. Sorry. I actually went out to the garage and I recorded the lyrics there. 1 in the morning, it was very cold. I took my recorder in the garage, I closed the door behind me, and I had the instrumental loaded up on my Zune. I know, don't even say it. Zune, I know. My iPod broke a long time ago, and at that point in time, Zunes were cheaper on eBay than iPods, so I got a Zune. It's fine. It has some issues, but it's not a big deal. So don't make fun of me for my Zune. But I had the instrumental loaded up on my Zune, went outside, put on my big over-ear headphones, garage, closed the door, hit play on the Zune, hit record on the voice recorder, play Zoom. Very similar to Zune. Interesting fact. And recorded the lyrics. The first time I did it, I was nervous. I was too nervous, maybe. So, you know, I brought the recorder back in. I loaded up the card and on the computer and pulled out the sound file. And I was being too quiet. I was going like, "You can make it to the end of the road. Let's go, kitty cat. There'll be mice and catnip and gold," and stuff like that. Oh, those are the lyrics that were right there. That's interesting. So I was too quiet. I almost exported it at that version because even the lyrics that are written on the screen, I actually synced up with that first vocal track. And I was like, it's done. There's the lyrics on the screen, and I've finished. But other than the problem with the quiet lyrics, a train did come by, and I couldn't hear it because of my over-ear headphones. And I thought maybe no one will notice, but anytime I listened back, I just always heard that train, so I had to. It's just like right in the middle of the song. It was real quiet, but it was not in the key of the song, so it really sounded bad. So I grabbed my voice recorder, put the card back in it, trucked back out to the garage, 1:30 in the morning. Over-ear headphones, garage door closed, and this time I didn't care. I I sang the lyrics much louder this time. It's the version you're hearing, than you heard. I don't know how we'll mix the audio for this. But I sang much louder. There were no trains. Luckily, I loaded the file into my editing program, and the lyrics that I had already written on the screen sunk up to the lyrics that the second round pretty well. There were some changes I had to make. I added like the word but sometimes. Where did I add that? It was it's not important. Yeah, just little words I'd add, some things I'd move a little bit, but overall it sunk up pretty well. The first "Let's Go Kitty Cat" you hear though is from the end of the vocal track, because it just comes in so suddenly. I knew there was no way that I could perfectly sync it up when it showed up, so I didn't sing that part. The actual file, if you listen to the actual file, raw file of my recording, the first thing I sing is "You can make it to the end of the road," because I couldn't sing the first "Let's Go Kitty Cat" because it just pops in. But at the end of the song, when there was no music playing, I just had to sit there in my garage, no sound, and just go, "Let's go Kitty Cat," and hope that it worked. And it did. I'm glad how that came out. Oh, I hope it hasn't been fizzing into the microphone. I'm going to sit on the ground instead of next to the recorder. The editing program that I use is Sony Vegas Movie Studio. HD Platinum 10. There's a bunch of words you don't really need. It's cheap. It's cheaper than Photoshop or FL Studio by a large margin. It's not Pro. I don't really remember the differences between Pro and the Movie Studio. I had the demo for Pro for 3 years, but I don't really see any differences. I was a bad kid, you know. I may have used less than legitimate copies of Sony Vegas Pro, but I didn't do it for any commercial stuff. And this was over 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. One day I just bucked up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for Sony Vegas Movie Studio. It was like $60 or $80, and they gave me Vegas, their DVD Architect program, SoundForge. I think that's what it's called. I don't actually use it much. I have Audacity, but it'd be cool if I knew the name of it so I can properly talk about it. I was right. SoundForge. No, excuse me. Ginger ale. So it came with all those, which was great. I don't use the other two programs as much now, but I did use DVD Architect pretty regularly back when I lived in California. I was making a public access TV show with an improvisational comedy group, and the way we had to deliver those was on disc, and I was editing them, and so I had to burn them to disc, and DVD Architect made that very easy. I recommend it if you find it for money. Don't steal it. Yeah. So I use Vegas to edit this. I used Vegas to animate this. That's why it was so hard, or maybe that's why it was so easy. I don't really know. It took me, the whole process took me maybe 6 hours. From the point where I decided to put this song into FL Studio instead of just playing it on my guitar, to the point where I rendered and uploaded the video, was about 6 hours. Oh, I ended at like 2. I guess I must have started at 8. Yeah. It was long. It was a lot of time to be sitting here doing nothing. Well, nothing. Putting this together. But it was a lot of time to be doing that. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad with the product I have. Nobody has bought it on Bandcamp yet. I don't know why. If anybody wants to pitch me $1, that'd be cool. You know, making $1 for 6 hours of work is pretty bad. But if you wanna throw me $1, I would like the $1. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I feel humbled just by people watching it. I don't. I feel like shit for people watching it. I want your money. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. No, I think that about sums it up. That's the process of making this video. I could talk about these lens flares, but there's really no reason to. Let me just watch this video. Oh, I guess we could talk about that. That flip that the cat does. It looks kind of bad. I didn't feel like fixing it. He looks like he does a belly flop onto the ground and then rolls. But that was just because, you know, there was nothing happening during that shot, and I wanted something to happen, so I made the cat do a flip. The question marks don't really make a lot of sense when they pop up. The question marks are in direct response to "how about that?" And they go in time with, you know, the I put them there just for visual flair. They don't really make sense. Why would the cat really wonder how about that? That's really more of a term. It's like a figure of speech than it is a real question. How about that? It was more like a satisfying response of how about that? I don't know how to say it. Well, how about that? Yeah, you know, like that. So the question marks don't make a lot of sense. Let's go kitty cat. That what it says it on the screen. That's not timed to my words. That was the first thing I animated was Let's Go Kitty Cat, and it's timed to the instrumental track. But it came out fine, so it's not really important. I didn't have to fix it, so that's good. It's Let's Go Kitty Cat by Jeremy. Is there anything else to talk about? Let me watch it through once and see if there's anything else. Yeah, there's that flip. It's not a mouse, it's a rat. Already said that. I don't know what brand catnip that is. I can't read it. It's too small. I can make the video bigger, but I don't want to. And there's those question marks. Here's my favorite shot. There's a lens flare on the cat. I thought that would be funny for some reason. There's a bunch of cats here. I don't know why I decided to put a bunch of cats there. I just did it. I put a bunch of cats there. So yeah, that gets continuously brighter, and I decided to throw the cat in there at the end just because it'd be funny. The yarn looks like it's rolling. Oh, this is something to talk about. I've been talking about this with real people before. Does eating grass work on cats for stomach aches? I know, at least I think I know that it works with dogs. I had a dog when I was a kid, and sometimes she would eat grass, and I tried to get her not to. And my dad or mom, one of my parents, would tell me that she was just doing it because she had a stomach ache, and I guess grass would help with the stomach ache. And when writing the lyrics, I must have figured, I don't really know for sure, but I must have figured that same process worked for cats. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a cat eat grass, so I don't know if it's something that they actually do. But I mean, I feel like that would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, if a dog is gonna eat grass because of a stomach ache, I don't know, does salad help with human tummy aches? And like, what kind of tummy ache? Is it like an indigestion problem? Is it just like a muscular tummy ache? I don't know, there's a lot of questions I have about that I've been meaning to look up and never have. But that's also the best part of the song. Some grass to eat. Yeah, it's the best part. Yeah, I don't know why there's a lot of cats. Down the road is a hairpin, safe place for cats. I already talked about the Baxis thing. Just talked about the grass thing. And then it repeats. Yeah, I guess that's probably everything that there is to talk about. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I don't know if you did a lot of watching, but thanks for listening to my commentary. I know it ran a little long, but there was a lot of to talk about. It's much shorter than 6 hours that it took me to make it. The video, I mean. I hope you liked listening to this. Please, if you can, toss me $1 on Bandcamp. Maybe some of you have. I'm not even sure. Maybe some of you have, but I haven't gotten any emails from Bandcamp. I haven't checked Bandcamp itself. But I figured if someone had ever bought anything from me, that it would send me an email, not wait for me to find out on my own. If you can, $1 would be great. I would thank you. I'd be forever in your debt of $1. And just spread the word. I'm proud of the work that I put into it. I'm proud of the final product, but I'm not proud of the video, if that makes any sense. I think that the song is a little redundant. The song is a little too silly, and obviously an attempt to ape at the internet's fixation with cats. I do not have a fixation with cats, and I think it's a load of shit that the internet does. This video is nothing but a money grab, an attempted but failed money grab, and I didn't get a single fucking cent out of it. So thanks for listening. Puppytography.com and Fingerpoint Snap. Check them out.